Hi guys, Abel Andres here of Yugatech, and today we're giving you our full hands-on review of Apple's iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. Let's go! This year's iPhone is a mixed bag of surprises. We all know there will be a huge upgrade from the previous model as the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus take the stage. What we got is a combination of the usual roadmap of improvements and some really unexpected additions, and in some case subtraction. Let's go through them one by one. First, the design. The iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus did not really have a lot of changes going on for them. They very much resemble their predecessors, the iPhone 6s, though with a few subtle and not so subtle refinements. There were a number of cosmetic changes, but these changes were not as apparent as, say, the iPhone 5 improved over the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 6 over the iPhone 5S. The overall design and form factor remained the same. The 4.7-inch display with a 1334 by 750 pixels on the iPhone 7 and the 5.5-inch display with a 1920 by 1080 pixels on the iPhone 7 Plus were basically just a repeat from the previous year. The dimensions, screen size, and overall profile remained the same. In fact, it would be quite hard to differentiate an iPhone 7 from, say, an iPhone 6 or 6s unless you inspect them really closer. The different lines of the antenna bands, the absence of the 3.5mm port, and the different shape of the camera bump are the biggest signs that it is the newer model. And of course, the new jet black and matte black colors. Everything else looks and feels the same. The power button is on the right, volume controls and lock switch are on the left, lightning port and speakers at the bottom. The 3.5mm audio port is gone, and if you need to plug an earphone, the lightning port is the way to go. Apple changed the earphones with a lightning plug, and if you want to use a different one, there's always the lightning to 3.5mm adapter that came with the box. This approach is perhaps the biggest contention among critics and reviewers alike. The move seems counterproductive, and the inclusion of an adapter seems like a step backward instead of forward. The speakers at the bottom is paired with the second one that is positioned at the earpiece. This adds more volume and stereo sound support. The IP67 rating for water and dust resistance is a much welcome improvement. Perhaps the single biggest significant feature for the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus, and perhaps life-changing for many iPhone users. The physical home button has also been replaced with a non-mechanical part, much like the trackpad on the MacBooks. There's no more clicking, and that's been replaced with haptic feedback. Among all the colors introduced, we especially like the matte black polished finish of the black variant. While the jet black also looks good, it's very prone to smudges and hairline scratches, aside from being very slippery on the hands. With the same 4.7-inch and 5.5-inch display sizes, Apple also retained their respective resolutions. Where Apple added some improvements is the wider color gamut and the overall screen brightness. Apple claims up to 25% better screen brightness, but comparing it to an iPhone 6s didn't show anything noticeable to the naked eye. What we actually noticed though is that the whites on the iPhone 7 is a bit warmer, closer to having a greenish tint than that of the iPhone 6s. Nevertheless, the display on the iPhone 7 looks very good, very crisp, and very bright. However, we feel the 4.7-inch is quite small for a smartphone these days. Perhaps they think those who wanted bigger can always get the Plus size. Both the camera of the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus were upgraded to 12 megapixels, including the front-facing one, which now has 7 megapixels from 5 megapixels previously. Both cameras have optical image stabilization, a feature only the Plus model exclusively had from the previous years. The sensors are better with a maximum aperture opening of f1.8, so we get better low-light performance and less blurred shots with shaky hands. Photos indeed look better, especially in low-light environments. The difference compared to the iPhone 6s is very evident in low-light situations such as this one. You can even see the banding on the photo taken with the iPhone 6s, while the iPhone 7 did just fine. Another feature that is found only in the iPhone 7 Plus is the dual camera setup at the back. One has a telephoto lens and the other has a wide-angle lens. This allows the camera to shoot at 2x optical zoom and up to 10x digital zoom. While we like the idea of dual rear cameras before, just like the one on the Huawei P9 and the LG G5, this one on the iPhone 7 Plus seems very limiting and not that really useful. With the iOS 10.1 update coming this October, portrait shots will also have the ability to generate beautiful bokeh, but that's just a software trick aiding the dual camera taking various depth of field shots. There's 4K video recording and the slow-mo goes up to 240 FPS at 720p. The quad LED True Tone flash on the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus allow for a wider level of brightness when shooting in low light. This also helps reduce too much flooding of the lights with the varying levels of intensity and or temperature. As expected, Apple introduced a brand new chip for the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus. The Apple A10 Fusion is the first quad-core processor by Apple, replacing the dual-core A9 from last year. The A10 Fusion is composed of two pairs of dual-core processors, with each pair switching between them depending on the task required by the system. The high-powered pair, running at 2.3 GHz, is responsible for crunching heavy tasks, while the lower-power pair is used when on idle or for basic tasks such as email, chat, and the like. The iPhone 7 is certainly fast and snappy, but the performance improvements over the iPhone 6s isn't noticeable for most of the usual stuff. But if you're going to play a lot of hardcore games like the recently released NBA 2K17, the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus should give you better gaming experience and better battery life. In our Antutu benchmark test, the iPhone 7 scored 178,992 points, while the 7 Plus came in second at 168,145. These two scores top our charts for the highest Antutu benchmarks we've done across all smartphones this year. The iPhone 7 Plus has a slightly larger battery capacity of 2,900 mAh, while the iPhone 7 also got slightly better at 1,960 mAh. In our Wi-Fi video loop test, the iPhone 7 got 7.5 hours, while the iPhone 7 Plus got 8.5 hours of playback time. It's not really that significant compared to the iPhone 6s using the same test. In our daily use, we could muster an entire day of moderate use, but once you're heavy on LTE or Wi-Fi, it doesn't really last an entire day. Unfortunately, the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus do not support wireless charging or even fast charging features. So, after using the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus for about 2 weeks now, there wasn't anything much with it that we could really say stood out from the previous models. Yes, it has more RAM, more storage, better processor, better camera, better display, but all of this felt incremental, that you could not really see or feel much of the difference compared to an iPhone 6s or a 6s Plus running on iOS 10. On the other hand, you're stuck with basically the same old design that has been around for the last 3 years, minus the 3.5mm audio port. If there's one very compelling reason to really upgrade to the iPhone 7, that would be because of the water resistance. For others, maybe it's just as simple as getting the matte black or the jet black colors. Well, that's about it. We hope we gave you a better look at the iPhone 7 and the 7 Plus. If you have questions about these phones, go leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit thumbs up if you like this video or consider subscribing for more videos like this. Once again, this is Abe and see you in the next one.